Hey there, I'm Tracy Goodwin, and I'm a voice expert. And I teach passionate business leaders and entrepreneurs how to make a bigger impact with their voice. And I'd love to come and talk to you, to work with you, because the voice is really the most powerful tool we have, if we know how to use it. The voice is what makes us sound confident, like an expert, like a leader. The voice is the tool that gives us the ability to captivate the room with every word, to touch our emotions, and cause us to take action, like learn from us, follow us, buy from us. And so many people don't step into the true power of their voice because they simply don't know how. Over the last 30 years, I've been coaching voices, and I've come up with the most unique and extraordinary method based in the psychology of the voice. And it really gets extremely fast and incredible results for people. People come to me and they say, I came to you to change my voice, and you transformed my business and my life. And it's really just that simple. It's all about a little bit of technique to know exactly what to do to get past the psychology of the voice story, to get some new and better voice habits laid in. Because the truth of the matter is, as long as we keep trying to think our way into a better voice, it's not going to happen, because it's laid into the muscle memory. We have to lay in new, good habits to get that sound flowing out. You know, people come to me and they say several things. They either come and say, I don't sound or feel confident. Or they come and say, I can't even use the words I need to use. Or they come with this horrific dread of that lackluster performance they know they're going to give, and they just don't understand why. It's happening. It's happening because you're missing a little bit of technique. And once you learn it, everything will change. I'd love to share my knowledge and expertise with you and your people, because it truly does change everything. I do workshops, I do presentations, and I talk about a variety of different things, all related to the voice, all related to making a bigger impact, to enthralling the audience from your very first word. And I hope to get to work with you soon, because the voice is the orchestra of the heart. It is the place in which we have the power to make people say, here, I have to work with you. Bill me now. And I don't know. Let me think about it. All of that happens in the voice. And I'd love to help you step into that power. Thank you for being here. Scenes, and you would think stage fighting, but that's not what happened. The young man who played across from me, and I'm 17 years old, and I don't want to go back home and live with my mother. He started beating me in the play. And every night he would hit me harder and harder and harder and harder until 3 nights before we opened, he literally opened fire on my face and threw me down on a hardwood floor, shattered my face, broke my nose. I stood up, and it was as if someone had turned a faucet on and blood covered all the costumes. All the costumes had to be rebuilt, and the stage had to be repainted. And I had never said anything because I was afraid, because I had been raised in a family where you didn't say anything, you took it. And I wasn't beaten, I wasn't abused in any kind of way. And so I went to the director and I said, do you think that there's any way he could not hit me anymore? And her very words to me were, you have chosen a profession in which you must suffer for your art, and if you can't, I'll replace you. Well, I didn't want to be replaced, so I did the show, and I moved on, and I went to another university, but the most fascinating thing happened when I got there, and this is the core of why and what I do today. My voice was like this, and I talked like this, and I had never talked like that in my life. I was an award-winning speaker when I was 12 years old. And the head of the acting department, she said to me, all right, if you want to be an actor, we got to fix that voice. And I'm thinking, what's wrong with my voice? I didn't even know. I didn't even know. And that was the foundation of what I teach today, which I call the psychology of the voice. And I went into this extensive training designed by and taught by Arthur Lesack, who, you know, I'm old enough to remember was one of the masters of the game. And I relearned through muscle memory how to speak again, that this is my real voice. And then I went on to work professionally as an actor, but by the time I was 30, I was sick of it. Mostly because I knew it wasn't my calling. But I didn't know what, people had come to me from a very early age repeatedly to coach them on voices. And I would just laugh and say, okay, God, how am I supposed to be a voice coach when I was not allowed to speak, when I had this voice thing, and people kept finding me. And this is before internet, before anything. And so I got a master's degree and I directed plays all around the world, and people still kept finding me to coach them on voices. And so when I was about 32, I finally said, okay, I'll play. And I started coaching in conservatories. I started working with actors, and I coached in a conservatory in Texas, and then I worked for Mike Nichols Conservatory in New York and the School for Film and Television, and worked with private clients all over the world when Skype first came out. And what I teach is based on all those experiences. And it was my calling. It was what I was supposed to do, and I just ran from it as hard and fast and as long as I could. Now I love it, and now I see how the work that I do changes lives. The core concept is called psychology of the voice, based in muscle memory. And so the work that I do is very different than regular voice coaching, because it's based in the fact that the way our voices sound today, right now, in this moment, started when we were little bitty. Patsy Rodenberg's one of the greatest voice teachers of our time. She's a voice coach at the Royal Shakespeare in the UK. She believes that one phrase in our childhood can decimate our voice, because what we do, let me give you an example, and I hear this from people a lot in high school. They'll go back to high school. They'll say, oh my gosh, I know what my psychology of the voice story is. I used to talk all the time in high school, and my teachers kept telling me to shut up. So I did. So all our experiences go into our subconscious mind, and our subconscious mind says, the voice is the most vulnerable tool you have. It's the orchestra of your heart. Let's pull it down. Let's shut it up. Let's lock it in. Now we have to speak, because we have to speak. We live in this world. But little by little, over time, we're laying something new into the muscle memory. You've ever been in a car wreck? Anybody ever been in a car wreck? I have. I've been in some bad ones. And when you're in a car wreck, I hope you've never been in a car wreck, but if you have, your body does this. Now, do you go around the rest of your life like that? Usually no. But that's the top layer of the muscle memory that you just laid in. So for days, you go around like this until you lay back in another layer. But you hear screeching brakes on the freeway, what does your body do? It draws up that layer of muscle memory. The voice is exactly the same way. All of our lives, we're experiencing dings, and as a result of that, we're laying in a layer of muscle memory. So people come to me and they say, I don't sound confident. That's the first thing I usually hear. I'm horrible on video. I can't stand the sound of my voice. I'm terrified to speak. That's the 4 top things people come to me and say. And you know, I work with these marketers and they say, who's your target market? And I say, everybody. Because I work with people in every different industry, older people, younger people, men, women. I mean, I was even approached a month ago about developing a voice program for transgenders. So I work with everybody, you know, but it's always the same. It's what was laid in. Why do you not sound confident? We say, oh, well, just be confident. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way, because confidence comes from what you put out and the reaction response you get back. That's your voice. So we have to go back and look at these core voice elements. So when we talk about core voice elements, why are you not sounding confident? Why are you afraid to speak? Why are you not sounding captivating? Because you're missing the technique. And so the truth of the matter is that everybody has a gorgeous voice inside that can captivate from their first word. But because of all those dings, and because of all the things we laid into the muscle memory, our jaws get locked. Any teeth grinders? You laid that into your muscle memory. I was too. I'd buy those $400 night guards and I'd crack them in two in one night. Laid that into the muscle memory. For many people, and I notice this with men the most, sound stuck in the back of their throat. Okay? Sound not flowing out. The sound should flow out with ease, like musical instruments. How many of the 5 elements of variety are you using? Thank you so much for watching, and I can't wait to work with you and your people. It's time to click the missing link. It's time to sound confident. It's time to get more deals and make a bigger impact. And it's all in the voice. Thank you so much for being here. And if you'd like for me to come and speak with your group, your organization, your leaders, if you'd like a presentation or a workshop, I'd love to help you step into the most powerful tool you have so that you catapult and change everything. You can find me at captivatetheroom.com. You can email me at Tracy@captivatetheroom.com. And I really can't wait to work with you.